Hi, have you or a loved one recently been diagnosed with cancer and want to be sure you're receiving the very latest and most innovative cancer treatment available today? I'm sure you do. I'm Matt Ellefson, founder of Survive It, and welcome to Fearless Friday, where today I'll discuss the differences of cancer centers and what my experience has been from receiving treatments in a few different cancer centers. First, I think it's important to bust a widely held myth that all cancer centers have the ability to effectively treat you with whatever type of cancer you bring to their facility. Due to the marketing we read and hear across America, you see it just about every evening while you're watching the 6 o'clock news. But we're led to believe that no matter what type of cancer you may have, your local cancer center can handle it. After all, that's what all those ads say, right? Look no further, we're the best. Well, there are over 5,000 cancer centers in America, and every one of them claims to be the best. And if they're all the best, then why are 1,600 Americans dying of cancer every single day? Because they're not the best. The truth is that many cancer centers have different strengths than others. And I sincerely believe that every cancer center aims to put their best foot forward and do the best job they can to help their patients. However, some cancer centers just have more advanced equipment, they do more cancer research, they see more cancer patients, and therefore they have more experienced doctors. Here's where the major difference lies. There are several different tiers of cancer centers. The most common being the National Cancer Institute, or NCI, designated cancer centers, and then also the Commission on Cancer accredited cancer centers, and then there's the rest of the pack, most of which receive some type of accreditation, but with maybe not as stringent of requirements. With regards to NCI, there are 70 NCI designated cancer centers located in 36 states that form the backbone of NCI's programs for studying and controlling cancers. And with that 70, there's 14 cancer centers, 49 comprehensive cancer centers, and 7 basic laboratory centers that don't actually treat patients but do research. And most of the NCI designated cancer centers are affiliated with a university with medical students of some sort. Now, there are also 1,500 Commission on Cancer accredited centers in America that also require specific standards in order to receive that accreditation. At any given time, hundreds of research studies are underway at these cancer centers, ranging from basic laboratory research to clinical assessments of new treatments. And the NCI designated cancer centers have been our government's backbone in studying and controlling cancer for quite some time. However, today, many new private models are organizing with the mission to provide innovative and comprehensive care, including holistic and alternative cancer care. So what does this all mean? Other than the obvious, that you need to do your homework when selecting a cancer center to treat your cancer, it means that treating cancer is a team sport and that you have to be the captain or leader of that team. You can't just be a spectator and expect a good outcome. It's not going to work for you. And although we're talking about cancer centers today, you must know that you can't just medicate your way out of a cancer diagnosis. You need to be fully engaged and fully knowledgeable about all your options, including the selection of your medical team members. I think I can best provide some insight into this by explaining my experience with selecting cancer care strategies over the last 8.5 years. Now, my experience is with lung cancer, but this applies to any form of cancer. Let's start with my diagnosis. Like 85% of other Americans, I was diagnosed at a community cancer center in my hometown. The NCI only sees 15% of patients diagnosed with cancer in America. And unfortunately for me, my cancer was very advanced, and based on my first appointment with my local oncologist, I knew I needed to seek out a qualified second opinion and consider experimental or a clinical trial option of some sort. And so, through the help of family and an awful lot of prayer, I selected a clinical trial at a highly rated academic research cancer center as my first line of therapy. It was an extremely aggressive treatment protocol, which required me spending some time in a hospital bed due to complications with side effects, but it proved to be successful, and my cancer was in remission for a year with no evidence of disease. And for that, I'm very grateful. And during that year, I began helping others faced with cancer and continue to learn more and more about the disease. Because of what I learned, when my cancer came back, when I had my first recurrence, I left that cancer center that provided my first line of therapy and switched to a different cancer center that was doing specialized research in my specific type of lung cancer. I also established a relationship with a local oncologist in my hometown at a smaller community cancer center, and I continue to this day, I try to do as much follow-up care as possible at my local community cancer center. But when I'm faced with a recurrence or a very difficult side effect, I need to seek out help and guidance from an academic research cancer center where they have more experience, more equipment, and perform more research on my specific type of cancer. They just see more people and understand the difficult cases better than a smaller cancer center does. And it's not that they're better people, it's just that they're better equipped and experienced to deal with difficult situations. So in my case, living in rural America, I need both types of cancer centers. And I can't afford to travel to an academic research center just to do my routine scans and blood labs when I have a local cancer center that's fully capable of doing that, just a short walk from my house. And I love my local oncologist and think he is very intelligent and provides me with great care. But sometimes when I find myself in a difficult situation, which happens to be quite often, unfortunately, I seek help at an academic research center where I'm also a patient. And my oncologist there performs lung cancer research 4 days a week and sees patients 1 day a week. He is very specialized in my specific type of lung cancer and the side effects experienced by long-term cancer patients like me. He also has access to more clinical trials than my local cancer center does, which opens up additional treatment opportunities or options for me. So, you need both types of cancer centers on your team. You need to respect both. You need to understand the abilities of both. But most important of all, you need to understand that where you select your cancer care does make a major difference to the outcome you'll experience. And with cancer, you need to make the right decisions 100% of the time. You don't get a second chance. And I don't approach cancer in the same way that I work as a businessman. In business, if you make a mistake, your customer gets reimbursed. In oncology, if you make a mistake, your customer gets buried. I just can't stress the importance of this enough. I know this, I've experienced this, and I live with this every day. I have stage 4 lung cancer that's actively trying to kill me. And lung cancer is by far the #1 killer of all cancers. But because I'm engaged in my treatment strategies, I have survived for over 8.5 years with this disease. Not thanks to me, but thanks to my teammates and my ability to stay engaged and in control of the situation and in selecting better teammates. All of us that survive it want you to have the same opportunities and same outcomes that I've had. So we have listed the top best-in-class second opinion cancer centers for every type of cancer at surviveit.org. And if you have any questions about any of that or anything that I just talked about, please feel free to contact us at info@surviveit.org. I'm Matt Ellefson, and until next time, stay strong and live fearless.